Booyah. Okay. I won't take too long. I don't think I have much to say anyway. I didn't think I had much to say yesterday and I ran my mouth for an hour. Hello! Salutations and greetings! I am Margie. My name is Marge. I'm a Haok empath and I like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I'm an esoteric, emotional Sherlock Holmes. And my scope, my spectrum, is collective consciousness. So, things are heating up. Literally, figuratively. Yeah. Because the truth always comes out. And so many people are living lies and secrets right now. You know, you might as well come clean, tell people what you're about, because they're going to find out what you're about anyway. You know. So, Mom's laying down. You know, try not to get heady about that. I really do. She's only 70, you know, but she's had a long, hard life. And her spirit is resilient, but I know her body is tired. And her mind. So, and then it's like some days, you know, it's like I was listening to these talks on the way over to the coffee shop this morning. Because, sometimes I just need to get out, get some fresh air, you know, listen to other people and what's going on in their lives and their stories and them, because I know what my life is all about. So, I was listening to this talk about how demons represent themselves and what this guy... See, well, the way I look at talks, like my talk, or I was just listening to the Reveal Report, Jesse talks with a guy named George the Iceman. You know, these people have talks. This is all the talk. Like, my talk is based on my frame of reference, where I come from. And there ain't a lot of people that come from the places that I come from. And we're finding out that people have backgrounds that the majority of society profits and benefits from, but they just can't believe exists, you know. And I've always known about the existence of wickedness and demons and things like that. I just didn't realize until like the last few years how literal it is. Oh, because I've seen people shape-shift in front of me, but it's like one of those things like, you know, I was really drunk, you know, but I know what I saw. Are you busy? Where's the good girl? It's a pretty environment. There she goes. Oh my goodness, there she goes. Flip flap, flip flop. Flip flop, flip flap. She's a good girl. She's back there playing. I thought she was yelling at the stinky boys. Thought one of the stinky boys was back there with her, but the stinky boys are all laying next to Mom. Oh, I hope she doesn't have to go outside right now. Anyway, so I was listening to this talk about how, like, you know, there's different kinds of demons. Like, I'm an Aries Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Cancer, Rising. I'm a type of person. I have a very high sex drive. I just have always had to come up with other ways to get rid of that sexual energy, because I don't just freaking go out and hook up with people and stuff like that. I'm getting too tired and too lazy for manual stuff. So I just don't even care. The older you get, it's like this that body stimulation. It becomes less, you know, unless you're with somebody that you really love and care. Or I'm with somebody, excuse me, that I really love and care about. But people have like lustful demons that are attached to them. You know, the ones that give them the inclination. I call it the fucking chuck. You know, I always knew it was not a good idea to merge your energy fields with other energy fields. It's like causes entanglements and stuff like that. You know. and these other kind of demons. Like my biggest aspiration in life is to be one of these people that just doesn't ever get mad about any. I would love to be one of those people that just, oh well, everything's everything's okay, hunky dory, love and light, God is good, remove my anger. I've been asking him my whole life. And some days I get pissed at him for giving it to me to begin with, for making me this way. I've cussed out God. Fucking hey, God, you make me like this, And I gotta work harder to not be what my natural desire is to be like freaking when people, I feel like people step on my toes, or I feel disrespected or taken advantage of or anything like that. I turn into an asshole. Because I figure if people are going to treat me that way, I'm going to give them a reason to, then, kind of thing, So, I have the anger. I have like anger attachments, like, and I do things. I meditated today, 40 minutes. I try and live every day, live that day and just that day, and try not to think too much about tomorrow. And it don't do no good to think about yesterday at all, because what I come to find out is God is only with you in the present moment, and he's not in the future, and he's not in the past, and he's not, So, I do things to curb, that energy. But I say things, I just say things and they're matters of facts, and people look at me like I'm the freaking meanest person in the world. I'm not making shit up and freaking calling people names. I'm just like speaking the facts of the situation as I see it. And they're just like, why are you so mean? I'm like, that's what you just did. I just speak on it as I see it. I just call it as I see it. Always call, So it's always been to my detriment. And then I hear all these people, oh, truth. People want truth. No, they don't. People don't want truth because there's accountability that comes with truth. And people don't want that accountability. There's a lot of freaking really low bars on the planet right now. There's a lot of bars set really fucking low on this planet Earth right now. People are making more on unemployment than they ever did working. I was talking to the fella I talked to today. He's from Nebraska too, O'Neill side, by Ogallala and McConaughey, Lake McConaughey. We were talking about how all these people got all this money, and they went out and did stupid shit. Bought really expensive, dumb, stupid trucks. Gave themselves, they always get a bigger TV. I call tax season TV season, because when I lived in Omaha, it's never failed. And Christmas is the TV boxes that are on the street, just stuff. And then people are always having yard sales to sell their shit that their impulse buys and stuff. And all over the marketplaces on Facebook and stuff, there's all these razors, those all-terrain vehicles. There's all this. Oh no, because people are running out of money, and it's oh shoot, we got to go back to work. Oh no, and we got all this stuff because people freaking are all about instant gratification, and they don't have discipline, and it's gluttony. And if I have all this stuff, then people will think I'm a cool person. But there's very little spirit in that. That's all ego. That's all that self-will stuff. That's what makes the Lucy fairy tale theater win. That's why Satan's been winning. Satan's been winning. Satan got bigger than God, because people's egos got bigger than God. I was in the chat on the revival report, and somebody was like, oh, may we all be freaking generous or something, or may, you know, people be generous. I'm like, dude, if all the freaking rich people that were on the planet were as generous, lovingly generous, as they claim to be, there would not be any poverty. There would not be those bottom tiers to the extent that they are. And I gotta, you know, and a lot of people are just hurting. You know why people are junkies and shit like that? Because they're fucking hurting. And they live on a planet with billions of people. None of these people give a shit about them. So what do they care anyway? Nobody's looking. And they do things like shit in the middle of the road because nobody cares about them. Nobody's even looking. You're not going to remember the person's face. You're not going to look in the eye about with the guy that's shitting in the middle of the street because people look away. That does, that doesn't exist. But it's this fact that this human being isn't seen. That's what it is. People aren't seen. They're not heard. And there's all this hurt that's like been bottled up. I watched Aladdin. It was on YouTube. I used to watch it on freaking Alice and Shrooms and stuff back when it first came out. So it was kind of cool to see it again. But there, it's like all this pain has been capped and blocked out and ignored and denied, you know? And so it's like the lamp's about to rub, and the energy. It can't be built up. Terrible things can't happen to human beings to the extent that they've been happening for so long without any consequence. And it got so big because people are like, hey, yeah, we're gonna do this shit. Yeah, we're gonna do it right in front of your faces. You know, yeah, there's vampires. Yeah, I remember in freaking, you know, I mean, all that crazy, weird, twisted shit. I never knew of an Earth, of a planet where it didn't exist. So when I look around and I see people all love and light, God, you know, God's gonna save us all. I'm just like, well, you must not have been at that nightclub where that dude freaking nailed his nuts to the board on goth night. You know what I mean? I'm just like, you don't know how people really act when they're void of spirit, when they have these attachments and stuff, you know, that make people do wicked, weird things. And I've talked about it in my videos, and that's why I was like, well, that's cool. It was synchronistic that I was drawn to this video that I listened to today, because I've said it before, and I ain't the first person to say it, and it's going to be said again. It's like, how many times have you heard somebody do something, and they're like completely red out or blacked out or had no idea that they did it? They had no idea. It just came over them. Dude, these are freaking evil fucking entities and demons and stuff that freaking... we're like, you know, if we aren't in proper spiritual condition, if people don't have a spiritual fitness program, and one of the parts about being spiritually fit is being physically fit. So you're preaching to people about all of your spirituality and you're a freaking chunky chicken. I'm probably not going to believe you as much, because it's mind, body, and spiritual conditioning. It's all of that. And I am prone to eat my feelings. So I was like, oh, I've been doing sets with dumbbells and stuff like that. My back has been giving me a lot of trouble last couple days. And then I get all pissy because of the heat, you know, stuff like that. So... like, they have undulations all over town. They have speed bumps, all like the big roundy ones. And on the way to the coffee shop, if I like hit one too fast on the other side, it freaking, my lower back locks up, and I'm like, ugh! It freaking sucks. I should have thought about, well, I know, when you're a kid and you're freaking doing all kinds of stupid stuff and, you know, just screwing around and, you know, I hope maybe somebody has an adult around to tell you that says, hey, one day your body's going to remind you of all that dumb stuff you did when you were a kid, so you might want to be a little bit kinder to it. You might want to. Yeah. I saw Zach do a decode on that Daredevil. I'm like, people are still doing that? Getting paid to do dumb shit and then wonder why they die? You know, like base jumping. How many people die from that? But it's just like I don't know. But hey, we've all lived these incarnations. I believe that we all live the life of everyone that we've ever come across. That's why it's important to be kind to the people that you come across, because do you want to be, on the other side of ugly? No? So don't dish that shit out. And I'm saying this to myself too. Because spiritually balanced people, and I look at balance like a teeter-totter, the little circle in the middle, and it varies. It goes back and forth. So balanced people, yeah, they're going to dip to their shadow side. But how are you going to rectify that? And are you going to keep doing it? I mean, you keep acting from the shadow side, you're living from your shadow side. And there's less spirit in that. There's less God on the shadow side. So it's one thing if people are dipping over there, you're a dick one day, somebody cuts you off, you flip them off, you cuss them out, whatever. Call them the product of siblings, I don't know, do whatever. You don't get to put your hands on people. You don't get to cause harm to people. I don't even wish ill will onto people. Worst I do. It's funny because I did this. It just happened to me the other night. So I wonder if people do it to me, because I've done that to people. I haven't in years, but I used to wish on people that they would stub their toe when they were half asleep in the middle of the night on the way to the bathroom. The kind that just like hurts all the way up into your armpit of your leg pit. That wakes you, and you ain't going back for a while because it's throbbing. Yeah, I used to do that, wish that on people, and then I was like, no, that shit comes, it's just, there's enough ill will in the world. I don't need to add to it. And I kind of wonder if I have a hernia. You were 3 years old. Sometimes mom had one. My mom and my brother, they both had hernia surgery. That tells me that they have something similar in their astrological charts. Because the planets rule certain parts of the body, like Mars is Aries, the head, all that stuff, So I know some rules like rupture, that stuff. Because they had a hernia. Mom was with me in Omaha, and Jerry was in Sacramento, obviously. But, like 2 weeks apart from each other. It was, or like 9 days. It was less than 2. It was like, what are the frick, But I do practice ORM, operational risk management. I don't lift more than I should anymore, and I do it proper. And I've been lifting weights, so I'm trying to build up. That is what, it's like I'm trying to build up muscles in my arms to compensate for my lower back. So, you just got to be good to your bodies, man. You just got to be good to their health is our wealth, man. Because I was telling these old guys today, I'm like, dude, because like, they'll bring their own chairs and stuff, but I can't, it's uncomfortable for me to sit for too long. So I stand, and then sometimes I get worried because I'm like, dude, I'm only 47, man. And it's already this screwed. But I have a lot of ideas for water therapy. I just got to find the freaking places in the river and stuff like that. Resistance. But I don't know, supposedly all the bodies of water are drying up and the world's shriveling like a raisin because people are freaking greedy and gross, and this is what we get, so you might as well get good with what you got while you got it, because freaking it's like things are just going to get worse until people wake up, enough people wake up to be like, oh shit, we got to make things better. And as far as June 19th or whatever, fuck you, old coot. Slavery still exists. It's never stopped. And you're a billionaire, big millionaire, gazillionaire, and wear 10,000 suits and freaking killed off your son and all this shit. Yeah. To perpetuate that system. And, I mean, I just feel like it's so Hunger Games. Like these big, these elitists that just, they're so rich and stupid. That's the thing. These people are so dumb. If you put them in a position where they really had to solve problems, like their life, they'd be dead in an instant because they're just not very smart. They're just not. They're a bunch of lawyers, man. Lawyers don't care about other people. Their teeth ride out because they're known from lying from. They're known to lie through their teeth. They lie all the time. They're not known for being really great human beings. And when now you have these that are like charging like, $800-900 per hour, what the fuck? They don't even do the work. They don't even crack books anymore. They just designate workloads to the paralegals that maybe make $20 an hour and do all the work. So the planet's got terribly unbalanced. What do I do with my confounded water? And the calibration is coming. There's a lot of people that are going to be in for a really rude awakening. Oh, here it is. Cheers in Ohio. Nathan, you're the only good thing that I know of that's come out of Ohio from this point. Because anything I ever... And I kind of like... What is that? What's that band? I just listened to them. Not 303. What's the other one? I keep deleting music because I'm like Satan worshiper. But some of the shit on here, I know they're Satan worshipers, but I still like the song. I don't hate them as much, but no more Gaga. I took all my Gaga off. And then other, like, bands that just are annoying me. Like, why the fuck did I ever download this? Oh, because I went to their concert. Because I dated a girl that wanted to go. But I never really liked them anyway. 21 Pilots. They're from Cleveland. I like it. And they're all shills. They're all freaking... living from their ego. But one day, people are gonna start. People are really gonna start giving their shit away. It's weird. It's gonna be weird. Like the idea of like philanthropy. When I said that in the reveal report about, if all the rich people, I'm talking about people that have like, we'll say, 5 million or up. Okay. Oh, okay. 5 million. If they started paying, and there's more people that have money, it's just so weird. It's just weird, the level of imbalance on this planet, how gross it got. Because you got all the inheritance and like all the freaking, because now you got all the, more military brats that their parents are dying, so they're more inheritance, because the military officers the last freaking 40, 50, 30 years have just been making fucking bank, man. Bank. Tax-free, hazardous pay in war zones that they created. Oh, shit. And then their buddies, hire them on as contractors. So all these fucking, egomaniacal assholes have more money than God. So, but if people really started changing their heart, good things could start happening. But in the meantime, we got to make the base, the ground. I talked to these guys today, and they do solar. They set up solar panels and stuff like that. The kid, Nate, went through the whole spiel, and I know the gist of it, but he went, But I'm a visual person, so I'm like, dude, I do better when I see pictures. But I'm sure there's YouTube videos all over. But it's just about finding the people that are valuable, even if frickin' somebody can't do shit, like, Because, like, some people aren't good cooks or aren't mechanically inclined, but they're really funny, you know? Everybody has something to bring to the table. The thing of it is for too long, people have been bringing themselves to the table and going, what do I get? What do I get? What's in it for me? This nation is an incredibly hoggish nation. It has been since the colonists came over and freaking killed 80 million of my ancestors. The indigenous to America. And might I remind people that we are animals? Human beings are in fact animals. And what do bird animals like to do? They migrate. What do people animals like to do? They've always have. People have been migrating from South to Central to North America all the way to Canada, back and forth for a very long time. Until these dipshits decided to start putting up fences and boundaries and asking for declaration of papers of membership required for entry and blah, blah, blah. I think it's so funny that see, I know he's a Jesuit freaking pawn himself, but the things that, like, I was like, oh no, it's a circle of greed, but I was really pulling for the guy, that he was like really a good guy kind of thing. But he's working for something, and it's not what I believe in. And so, what was I going to say about him, DT? Well, he pardoned freaking his buddy, the Freemason, because I'm like, dude, he could have pardoned Assange, but no, he didn't do that. That would have like if he would have done that, I would have been like, dude, you're a good guy. You know, we might have a chance. But he didn't. He fucking pardoned the fucking Freemason, freaking his occult buddy, freaking Little Wayne. And that's when I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm done with all of it. I'm checking out of all of it. Because I followed the whole storyline that was unfolding, and I was hoping for the best. But that's the thing, is they set you up to get you excited, and nothing ever happens. And that does something to a person, constantly being disappointed. You know, you get to a point you just don't believe him anymore. So he did that. And he was so big on freaking, you know, Americans coming into America, or people coming into America the right way. I'm like, what the fuck do you know about coming in? Your wife was naturalized. His parents were his mother naturalized. That means that basically, because they know somebody, it's like a free cut in line. Come on in, cut in front of the line. Just go on, you know, you're American, you know, they don't got to go through no bureaucratic process or bullshit or nothing like that. It's like, it's cutting in line is what it is. So that doing the right thing, it just cracks me up, man. But people honestly really believe that they really do great things. I don't think I do great things. I try to do a good thing here and there every now and again, because sometimes I feel like I'm so grouchy that I gotta freaking compensate for that. Not overcompensate, but just compensate for that. I don't know, things are, I haven't seen much. I know, like, Redding, Sacramento, it's 111 degrees today, 110, you know. And that's the thing, is like, when I had the chicken pox and we didn't have air conditioner, we had a swamp cooler that Mom could run for 2 hours. I would soak in the bathtub until the bath water would turn warm, like ambient temperature. Then I'd go lay on a sheet in front of the fan. And because they said, don't scratch, because you'll scar. And so I would just lay there not scratching, just, you know. That was the first time I wanted to, like, I was like, dude, God, if this is what living is, I don't want to live. This is not fun. That was the first time, like, I was like, I don't want to live. I was never suicidal, but I've always struggled with, like, you know, wanting, you know, being eager to wake up every day excited for this day and all that it brings. Because my life has been a lot of work. And I like to have fun. Sometimes when I don't think I have any, when it's too much work and I don't have any fun, I get freaking crabby, man. Because I've had fun. I just want to have more fun. But slowly but surely, there's a lot of people around here. Gotta run into some more like-minded people. Go rock hunting. But then it gets so freaking hot, God, I went and got... Where did I go? Went and got a couple of burgers. I got Mama Turkey Burger at this place kind of called 5-Star Burger. And then I got a burger, but it's just... Anyway, we got milkshakes, but it's just, it was meh. Meh. But, had a couple bites. I don't feel like eating when it's hot. Mom's not that hungry. Well, I took Luna with me, and we were just on the way. It was from there. It's like 3.2 miles, something like that. It's not that far. But my leg was blotchy from being in the sun. I'm like, Mom, feel my leg. She's like, ah, like it was hot to the touch, So, anyway, what else? Yeah, I don't really plan on doing much this weekend, going anywhere, or doing much of anything this weekend. It's only supposed to be in the upper 80s, so that's cool, and it's tolerant. It's this what we have here is a lot more comfortable than the summers that we've been the last 4 since we left Omaha. And even Omaha, it was like I had to run the AC all the. And I hate AC. I don't like AC. I'd rather have like breeze and fans and stuff like that. I don't like fake air. That's why people get sick. That's why people aren't getting sick right now, because all the employees that have been going to offices, everybody's working from home. So they're keeping their temperature comfortable working from home. I was like, it drove me crazy every change of the season when I worked in corporate America and stuff like that, is because they keep these offices so fucking cold, because all the bosses in charge set the thermostat real high because they're all freaking fat and sweaty and gross and from their overabundance and gluttony. So then they go outside where it's hot, and that temperature difference is your systems aren't designed to go up and down, because then you go out to your car, you drive home, it's just you got to keep your core like less fluctuation, less extreme. So now people don't know how to deal with the heat because they've kept themselves from it. So when they go out in it, people are like, oh, like, dude, this is the stuff we used to ride our bikes in and stuff like that, like, you gotta work I don't know, too many people got soft and fluffy. And we're stepping in at a time where it's survival of fittest, so it's going to be hard to watch. It's going to be kind of painful to watch all the people that are really inept, that aren't really going to have stuff to bring to the table, And it's going to be more about the skills and aptitudes that you have than freaking money. And if it doesn't happen in my lifetime, it's coming. I mean, things might be totally copacetic, the next 40 years, no big earthquakes, no, the volcanoes stop erupting, everything comes into peace and harmony and everything, but there's timelines that that need to happen that haven't happened, that should have happened. Like, because there's so many controllers and power-hungry perverts and stuff like that, because there's a way that the planet is supposed to be if it was all about love and harmony. Dude, there wouldn't be so many junkie drug addicts, freaking pillhead losers, if there were more people that had people to talk to and just get the stuff out of their head. But somebody goes someplace to get the stuff out of their head, the person that they tell labels them. And that label, it puts a stigma on people. But it's people that put stigma on people. That's why I'm like, I've never been like, I mean, they said I had Aspergers when I was in elementary school, but this was like the freaking 70s, 80s. My parents didn't give a fuck. They hated each other. They were too busy about seeing how much they could make the other one more miserable. They didn't give a shit, They just put me in the fucking retard remedial classes, and just hoped that I wouldn't freaking be too disruptive. I got suspended when I was 13 for calling Mr. Smith the dirty old man at CVI, because he fucking was, and everybody, he just did one, and he, I always spoke my truth, even if it, comes with consequence. So, anyway. What are you going to do? San Diego, I went to San Diego. My experience in San Diego was a fun time. My friend Alan Steinbaum, his mom had this was years ago, in 1996, 94. Alan and I were buddies, and his grandma died. His grandma was our neighbor. For years and years. That's how it was weird. I'm not going to get into that story. Anyway, we drove down from Redding to Escondido, and that was like the first vacation that I'd ever gone on, and because someone down there was going to buy his grandma's car, so he drove his car, and I drove his grandma's car behind him. And I got him walkie-talkie headsets for his birthday, so we were talking on that, And then we started annoying each other, just, turn it off, And then, we were passing bulls in LA traffic. He would load the bull, and he'd be in front of me and hit off of it a few times, and then he'd set it outside his car, and then I'd roll up and pick it up, and then we'd in front of him. That's how we passed the bull. We just do stupid stuff but it was never harmful, kind of thing. And then his sister was visiting from Japan. She did Broadway shows there with the big feather outfits and stuff like that, the can girls. And so she came back, and then we got a limousine. And so we went around. This was back in my drinking days too. And we went to the grocery store, and she was telling people that she was Alyssa Milano, and this chick looked like nothing like Alyssa Milano. But she had people anyway. And then we went to the Hard Rock Cafe, and my glass from that trip, that Hard Rock Cafe, I used to put my change and stuff in it because it was a tall beer glass, commemorative thing that you got. And then so it was just going around limo. Went to Planet Hollywood. I was drinking there. He was just a stoner still. And then his sister didn't drink, but it was a fun time. We went to Tijuana. I'm so oblivious to stuff. Unless it's really obvious and some chick freaking was hitting on me. This is when NATO opened up. It started. And CocaCola, the caravan went by Mr. Frogs or Papa Frogs. What was that frog place? Anyway, they're all over Cancun, Cozumel, everywhere. They're popular in Mexico. Anyway, I saw the Coca-Cola caravan come into Mexico, and it was all, my God, everything is freaking bells and whistles, man. Everything is just freaking shows, and look at us. It's just dude, it's a soda. Soda kills. It's bad for you. You shouldn't drink soda. I drink soda. I like caffeine. So I like the fruit soda. I like grape soda, and pineapple, strawberry, ginger ale. So, anyway. I don't know. I hope people are, if they're struggling with freaking like cravings this weekend, find better alternatives, dude. Because when it gets this hot, dude, fucking people mixing alcohol and heat, it's just fucking retarded. And it's just, I'm sick of reading these fucking stories as a result of people making bad decisions, man. I'm sick of it. It's like, dude, people know what is wrong and right, but they get these freaking attachments attached to them, and then they just, live from sin. Live whatever chasing sensation and whatever feels good in the present moment, and that stuff is not what God wants you to do. Senior Frogs, thank you. That's gonna fucking drive me crazy. Yeah. I didn't know that girl was like fresh until like we left and they said something. I'm like, I don't know. Because I don't think like that. I just don't. I mean, I do, but I just don't. I don't know. I'm one of those really picky type people. I have weird taste. I do. I've dated people that I've like, because it's an energy, more of an energy match kind of thing. But it's got to be more encompassing the attraction, I do believe. So, I don't know. I've been single for frickin' since 2000. I got dumped the last time in 2013. I liked a girl, and it looked pretty promising for a little while, and then she flipped her script, changed her mind, found a big old wiener instead. I always lose out. At least I lose out to dudes with big dicks. I don't know. Whatever. You know why straight women like to dabble with Marge and then find out real quick that I'm like, dude, women play games. I don't play games, but I am a woman, and I've always had friends with women, and that forever they've told me about the fucking games that they play. And so they try that shit with me. And I'm like, dude, you're trying to play games with a woman. You will not win. Just don't play games. Just, and people like to hide and present themselves. But I still encourage people, because she has a Facebook page, Obi Dog Journey. I encourage people to buy her calendars, because Obi was the dog that was in the custody suit a while back, and he lost 50 pounds. He was the Obi, the Biggest Loser Doxy edition. So anyway, that was a pretty wild story too. I've lived a lot of freaking cool stories, I've had a lot of life experience. I just sometimes, because things get so quiet and so still, and I gotta be mindful to be in the present moment, because when we moved down here, my brother was like, how long do you think she's gonna live, Marge? She's sleeping and she can't hear me. Otherwise, I wouldn't say this in her company. And if I did, she won't remember anyway. And he's like, how long do you think she's gonna... I'm like, what the fucking... Why would you even... Who... But he's a lawyer, and he's been in the Army Reserve since 1989, and that is how fucking assholes think, And he does not care about us. That's why we live in New Mexico, because he wouldn't help me. He didn't feel like it. Because he's like, you said you take care of her when you were 15, and so go ahead and do that. And I'm like, all right, I'll go ahead and do that. So this is the closest place to freaking Salem, Oregon we could find that they'd let us, for a price we could afford, live with the dogs and mom. Because I think dogs are my family, and they're a lifelong commitment, and I didn't want to give them back to rescue. So it's about killed me to keep us all together, But, and then I think about that, because it's like, I try not to think about how long, but I always notices the changes, the differences, because she had a stroke when she was 38, so it's just like that part that was affected when So that dude slammed her head in the car door of his 64 Chevy Biscayne. So that part that is like died from the impact, you know, it's just continued to deteriorate. And just love them while you got them, you know. But at the same time, I got to get out and do things for me, because it's an imbalance. I don't want to turn into one of these freaking angry, resentful people. I'm trying to freaking end this carnation with being more in joy than freaking anger and resentment. And it ain't always easy to do. I'm Aries, Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Cancer, Rising. So, I do things like meditate, you know, and I've been working out, and, you know. But at the same time, it's like, God, it's starting to get to where it's hot, and I'm just like freaking everywhere. I hate the heat. Like hot. And it's not really too bad here. It really isn't. I guess it gets pretty bad here, but it's not. It's not. It hasn't been unbearable here. So it's been manageable here, and I'm ready to go swimming. I'm ready to go swimming. I'm ready to go. Like, I got a couple of floaties in the back of the van. I want to get a rope and just tie off and just float, you know. But I know the water's cold still. But still, you know. I like being in water. It's very cleansing. You know, I just like to float. I don't like splashing around, stuff like that. That stuff annoys me. But I don't know, things are changing. I'm learning more. I have my demons, like everybody does, that they battle. Everybody has different demons, but the fact that they got stuff and what I think about a demon, you know, could be literal, could be a character defect, aspects in my character that are completely driven by ego. When that happens, there's no spirit in that. So I really try to live more from the side of spirit, you know. Like, when I make decisions, is this good for just me? Or is this good for everybody? And me going off and driving around for a couple hours, sometimes that's good for everybody. You know, I don't even feel comfortable with leaving mom for a couple hours anymore. I mean, like when it starts getting, like I won't when it's hot, you know. But, I mean, it would be different if the dogs had a yard and I could just put the dogs out in the yard, you know, if I could. But it's just too much for her to manage. What do you do? One day at a time. That's what you do. One day at a time. Just try and live comfortably every day that we're living. And try and not just live comfortably for me, but try and make... every day I try to make somebody... just do something for one other person. To just make something a little less sucky. Because things are sucky for a lot of people. Yeah. Those with the